Andrea Smith with CE Week TV. We're at CE Week 2015. The halls are bustling with people checking out the latest technology. But you know what's cool? 3D printing.
I think it's pretty cool.
Very cool. We have William Chang from NEA 3D. 3D printing is so cool because we're doing so many things with it. But first, tell me what you're doing at NEA 3D.
Well, NEA 3D is a new company. We're about a year and a half old, and we're actually a bunch of users. We're artists. We're not actually really tech savvy people. We saw the technology and we were like, oh my God, you can print what's in your mind, right? So coming from a visual effects background of about 20 years, we knew sort of like the other half of it, like designing CAD models, the thing that's kind of hard to learn, but then being able to go over to 3D and translate that into actual physical objects. I mean, that's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So let me just clarify, is it NEA 3D or NEA?
It's actually NEA.
NEA,
3D,
okay,
right.
NEA 3D. Okay,
actually, the name was derived from the inventor's daughter, right? So her name is NEA, and then we made an acronym for it, Newly Evolved Art.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see this. We've got our little close-up camera here.
Yeah, so this is an example of a technology called fused filament fabrication, and it's effectively melted polymer layer by layer. If you look really closely here, you can see all those kind of steps here. If you print in a higher resolution, you can get it a lot closer to this. And that's actually, when you run your finger across that, that's just baby smooth, right?
Yeah.
So,
let's put that under
and
there.
then
Okay.
and then this is a little bit more of a
little more gritty.
Gritty, but
Yeah.
like really, it's a faster print.
Yeah.
So with technology, there's always limitations.
Right.
And with 3D printing in general, speed is not really its strong point. But with newer, different types of technology, we're looking at things that can print within minutes. So if I could just talk a little bit about the technology and the what we actually focus on. We actually don't focus so much on the core technology itself. We focus more on the user experience. I know a lot of people say that, but you'll have companies that are making printers right now. You're going to spend anywhere between $600 to $3,000. And the problem with that is if there's a problem with it, you have to RMA, do some warranty.
Right.
You're waiting 3 weeks, maybe even a month. For us, we have an upgrade model where, because our printer is completely modular, the technology, the most core piece of our technology, can be swapped out with new technology. So we're not asking a user to buy a brand new printer every single time they get a new technology.
Well,
so
and the technology changes so quickly.
it's like, it effectively leapfrogs itself, no pun intended, leapfrogs itself, every 2 months. So yeah, it was a really issue for us to be able to tweak our own printers and upgrade ourselves if we needed to.
Right. And let me just ask you, because you talk about the whole idea of consumers using this, and I think for so many people now, this is still kind of out there. It's not really mainstream yet. People are starting to say, hey, this is cool. I can visualize something. I want to design it, or I want to collaborate it. Is it becoming more available to mainstream users right now?
Absolutely, it's definitely available. It's not. You can go online and do a direct sell right now from MakerBot, Ultimaker. You can buy printers. They'll show up in your doorstep, in 2 weeks. It really, the disconnect is, how do I go from here to 3D printing?
Right.
It's like possibly a 6-step process there for more advanced users. What companies are trying to do right now is to eliminate that 6-step process into like a 1-step process. But then, honestly, for me personally as a user, that gets rid of the magic. You know what I mean? Like, so what? I can go to a online 3D repository and download something and print it. Well, how's that any different from Amazon.com right now, right? So for me, I think educating users in, showing them the power of thinking about something, teaching them how to do it themselves, and then printing it, that's really where the magic is in 3D printing.
Let's talk a little bit more about magic of 3D printing.
Sure.
Now, I know you were just on a panel. There was a panel on, what's going on in 3D printing here at CE Week. Fantastic panel with you and a couple of the big 3D developers as well. And a really cool guy named David Petrino, who's from the Not Impossible Labs, I believe.
That's
and
right.
You guys should go check
Mad
it out.
scientist.
And he is 3D printing artificial limbs for kids. I mean, to me, and this is very cool, and I love what it allows people to do.
Of course.
But the idea of 3D printing a limb is just, I mean, it's to me what the promise of technology is about. What do you think?
Well, first of all, what he showed us there was incredible. Actually, they did an MRI scan of a brain, and they were able to find like the tumor, and it gave the doctors actually a lot more access to things more tangibly than, let's say, for example, looking at a 3D model. Because even a 3D model, in essence, is still 2D when you're looking at it on a 2D screen. But when you have it in front of you, it's a whole new game, right? So, I mean, really what it all comes down to, again, is the technology shouldn't be the focus, right? I mean, look at the specs of this, the resolution, all that. It's really what you can do with it, and it's endless. It's endless. Anything you see out here right now can be 3D printed.
That's awesome.
In any material.
Yep,
Yeah.
awesome. It's endless. The promise is endless, and that's what I love about technology.
Absolutely.
William Chang from NEA 3D.
NEA 3D.
Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Andrea Smith for CE Week TV.